Alright, so right now I'm actually in the process of trying for the fourth time to submit some exhibits into my towing case, which I can't, because they keep sending them back. The file's too big for me to attach anything else to it. It doesn't even always attach every time. It fails more often than it actually attaches. And so far, every time I've submitted it, they sent it back because it doesn't have a cover letter. It can't be a lead document and that kind of stuff. And I keep explaining to them it's literally the only way I can submit these exhibits. I obviously don't have a car, obviously still can't work, obviously can't mail it to them because I don't have stamps or mail, but man, it's fucking unreliable as shit. And I can't walk all the way up there. It's raining pretty bad too. But supposedly now I do actually have a return of service in there because I had to pay for a service provider after the all that kind of crap. I'm not going to be able to get evidence in on this case or anything. They've drug it out so long, but I can prove that the district clerk just refused under law to actually issue a citation. I can prove that they did not give it to me, that they then delayed for days for no reason whatsoever, and then I can show that I repeatedly asked for it to be served by constables and stuff, and nobody actually ever served it. But somehow it's my fault for not getting service or anything, and of course, like, their attorney and everything is all quiet after he tried to bully me the one time. Oh, we gave you a price every time. Too bad I have multiple recordings. You guys can go watch them. They still won't respond to my property whatsoever. By the way, it turns out if somebody takes documents or something that's not a contract, they can be charged for the greatest amount you might lose. So some of that evidence, or like my cell phone and stuff, has evidence that I want, has documents in it that I want to put in a case. There are some papers in there. I'm not sure exactly what, but I would have to go through it. But, I mean, if they're even in a good condition or anything, if they haven't sold the car or cleaned it out, because there's a reason they didn't let me get my property. I have to think that they sold it and then went and got it back after they actually realized that there really was an active litigation on, but they can't tell me shit. They literally just were like, oh, all I know is this, and they gave me a different tow date than was on the paperwork. I do know for sure now it's abandoned vehicle, and it was not there for 24 hours, let alone the 48 required by the service road since it wasn't actually on the highway. The first notice shows that it was never delivered. It's still in progress. And the second notices were rejected on the 15th, something and something. Finally having that and looking at it, it looks like I did guess wrong that there was no second notice. It appears that the first notice may have shown up and they attached the, like, first notice little slip of like, hey, we missed you, to the first notice and put it in my mailbox. So I have a letter that should be signed with the notice saying we sorry we missed you, you know, with the same thing, and there's not like a way to, like, it's not the same tracking number. It's got a different tracking number on it. So there's no way for me to actually tell if this one goes with this one or the other one. But it looks like that's the one thing I was wrong on so far, was they actually had a second notice that wasn't delivered. The guy didn't come up and deliver it to me or anything like that, and I was home every day. So that'll be a little rough for them to prove, but I can't argue a second notice anymore. But who cares, because it wasn't a legal tow. Yes, I am trying to submit documents right now, and it's large enough that the e-file system actually will not let me submit it with another document, and the clerk keeps rejecting it. I wanted to see if I could get somebody to actually just make sure they accept it, and then ask if I could know at any time when I might actually finally get an emergency hearing, because as far as I know, they finally got served after I was forced to pay somebody, since the clerk wouldn't do it and the constables wouldn't do it, and I cannot continue to go without a car. I've been without a car since January, and this stuff has been delayed for no reason.
You're going on too many different subjects. The first thing is e-filing.
Okay.
E-filing goes through the district clerk's office.
Yes, and they keep rejecting what I'm trying to submit for this case, because I can't put a lead document with it or anything.
Unfortunately, that goes through them. You would need to speak with a supervisor or speak with somebody down there. We don't accept e-filings.
Well, yeah, I just figured if you called them and told them that you were looking for it, it might actually prevent them from just rejecting it.
No, sir, I can't see the e-filing, so I can't tell you if it's in the proper form, if it has the proper case number. I can't see any of that. So, and personally, I don't go through the cases, so I'm not, really expecting. Anything in the case. The other thing is you said the party was served.
Yes, and there should be a return on file now. 096 323 23621.
Okay, this was the case just a few days ago. You're trying to get a private processor, correct?
Yes, and he just, it was yesterday he told me that he turned in the document.
Okay. It looks like one party has been served, the ULIS BNB, and not the DFW airport.
Yeah, and I have requested citations. I've requested that to be served. The constables won't do it. I cannot do anything else. I'm being denied access to courts, and I've been without a car on something I can already prove was an illegal tow. Like, this has to move forward. He has to make somebody serve them, or we need an emergency hearing, because I cannot even get a job. I don't have a car. I can't afford another service processor, and I had to pay for one even though I'm on an affidavit of inability to afford cost. Like, this is no longer okay. Like, something has to be done at this point.
Okay. I will consult with Judge Gallagher and see what he wants to do on this one. Let me look at this.
I do appreciate that, because even if we have to finish going through the court stuff, if I can at least get the car so I can handle like my stepmom's medical stuff so that I can actually get groceries and everything and try to get a job and then pay for a process server as we sort stuff out, that's fine. But like, I literally cannot do anything. And like, I have all the stuff where I've sent that stuff to the constable. It took me like 2 months to get that citation. They flat out refused unless I paid them for the citation.
That's I know the story.
Okay.
What's the phone number to reach you at?
903 748 2791.
All right, let me send this message into Judge Gallagher. It's a little late in the day, so I don't know if he's going to have a response for me.
Okay.
But I will let him know that you're trying to set your emergency motion for injunction.
Okay.
So I got you at 903-748-2791.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right. All right, you're welcome.
Bye. She's been pretty cool every time I've talked to her. I didn't like that I couldn't get an emergency hearing or injunction without them being served. That doesn't seem right. I didn't find that anywhere in the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. That's usually when they're put in because there's is like domestic stuff with kids where it's like, oh, we're going to move in real fast to protect the life or whatever. But whenever it's literally like tons of property and you've been sitting for months and everything, and you can show that you asked the constable to serve it, you can show that you asked the clerks to issue a citation, and they just wouldn't issue one. Like, what am I supposed to do? They flat out told me I had to pay for it. They flat out, after I called them, you can go watch the recordings, they're like, oh, well, if you actually request it just to be digital and mailed to you, we can do that. And then, you know what, they turned around and were like, sorry, it doesn't cover copy fees. That's not a copy fee. So basically the district clerk ignored all the laws that says they have to issue a citation for free, pay for all process of service, and provide me anything else that any other litigant is actually provided with. Under Texas Rules of Civil Procedure, it says they have to issue the citation forthwith. I'm pretty sure 11 days after you've been delayed for months is not forthwith. They couldn't even tell me anything about it. Multiple emails and stuff, no answers. They were finally like, oh, it turns out the document processes didn't get it. Well, I sent them a copy of it. They had an email from me going, hey, where is this? With a copy of the citation, or my motion, or my request attached to it and everything. So, that's literally the crap I'm dealing with. And now they're like, oh, well, another party hasn't been served. Well, I mean, I'm not going through that process again. I have nothing to even show that DFW Airport was actually involved whatsoever. They can't provide the phone logs. I have contacted them on open records request with the FOIA, and they haven't responded. It's been over the 7 days now. They do 7 to 10 days, they said. It doesn't say business days, so I'm guessing they want a week to just do a quick response on like how much it'll cost and everything. But I'm literally just asking for if they made a call to ULIS BNB about that car on that day. And it taking this long kind of just tells me like maybe that there's just no record, and they're like, do we even have that record? But we'll see. Either way, I just have a feeling the police is not taking the fall for claiming an abandoned vehicle that was not abandoned. They would have probably called it in for something like, it's a road hazard, if that's what they called it in for. But something that's verified with an officer there, like, hey, is that okay? I'm going to try to come back and like turn the hazard lights on before I leave and everything. All right. So we'll post this and include it in some records somewhere and whatnots. Thank you.